Alright, I can't even believe I'm making this video, how to split wood. But apparently a lot of people on the internet don't know the basics of how to survive or live without a safe way and pre-packaged everything. This is Frank's Family Farms. We teach environmentally sustainable homesteading. You're going to be splitting wood. So let's talk about how to split wood. Hey, pay attention. Hey, get out of here, Coco. Now listen. The first thing you need to do is get a splitting stump. Splitting stump. You don't want the splitting stump to be too high because you're going to be chopping up here like this. You want it to be kind of low, and you don't want the splitting stump to be too short because when you hit it with the axe on accident sometimes, you're just going to split the splitting stump. The key here to a good splitting stump is do not make the splitting stump level. No, you want the splitting stump to be slightly angled away from you. Slightly angled away from you. Why is that? Let me show you. When you cut wood with a chainsaw, you don't cut perfectly level or even or straight lines. Some is usually at an angle. So if you look at this piece, it's slightly angled. When the stump is angled, you can take the round you cut and turn it, and now that angle on the stump and the piece that you're going to cut, they offset each other, so now it's level. Okay, so you're working with angles. Now, second thing we're going to teach you, Christ almighty, this is going to be a long video because a lot of people don't know how to do this stuff. Second thing, look at all these knots. Knots. Wood does not like to split at knots. Figure out where the knots are and do not split the wood perpendicular to a knot. Split the wood parallel to a knot off to the side. Sometimes these knots will go all the way through the wood and hold it together like a big screw. So if you see a knot and it's a hard piece to split, split it parallel to the knot off to the side, not perpendicular. All right, let's do some splitting. Christ almighty. Like I'm raising a bunch of kids around here. All right. Now, look at how I'm holding this axe. Now, side note, this axe is a piece of garbage. Want to know why? Because it's like a fiberglass handle. It's all mushy. When you go to split the wood and you hit things with it, it's like wow, 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 and it's like you lose energy or something when you split wood with fiberglass handles. Wood handles are always best. Get some kind of rubber protector on the wood handle. See that? Like that bad boy, 8-pound sledge. Your hands slide nice and smooth on the wood handle. When you get something like this, your hands don't slide as good and they hit this rubber stuff and you get calluses real quick because this junk, this rubber crap is gripping your skin. It might feel really comfortable and really good the first few swings, but you split a pile of wood like this and you're going to have some serious blisters. Now let's go over axe swinging fundamentals. I'll use this sledgehammer just as a example. Top and bottom, right? You're going to swing over your shoulder, and as you come down, you're going to drop your top hand, boom, like that. So you have leverage. You pick it up here so you have more leverage and it's more light. You bring it over your shoulder, bring it down, boom, like that. Now, when you're splitting, using a sledgehammer, axe, whatever, you don't go like this. Watch my feet. Holy cow, go, man, I just destroyed my foot. When you swing, You're not doing an arc. No, you are going to hurt yourself. When you swing, you come down and then you stop about right there. Hands coming down. Bend your knees down if you have to. The point is, you want the axe or whatever you're swinging on to fall level on the object that you are hitting. You don't want it landing like this, and then you miss, and then, or you just hit the edge, and it's like, uh-oh, bam, and now you're taking a trip to the hospital. So up here, swing down, lower your hand, bend your knees, boom, down. Now, if you want a little more power in your swing, what I like to do is a little jump, bend my knees, come up with a jump, I'm on my tippy toes, then my knees come down, boom, and I'm splitting the wood. Next thing you're gonna need is a splitter. Do not sink an axe head into a piece of wood and start hitting it with a hammer like this. You're going to mess this up. You see how thin this metal is along the edge here. That's very thin metal. And if you're hitting this, that can fan out, it can distort, and let's say the wood starts splitting. Okay, the axe is going down, and now the handle has hit the wood, and you keep pounding on this. All you're doing is tearing up that handle, okay? You're not supposed to hit this with a sledge or anything. Now, there's different types of axes. Yeah, you probably didn't know that. This kind of axe is called a splitting maul axe. I don't even know if it's called that, but some kind of splitting maul axe. Anyway, this is for splitting wood. You see how thick and wide. So when it goes into the wood, it starts opening the wood quickly, right? Goes in there, opens up the wood. This is a splitting maul axe. You see how thin this thing is, and somebody beat the back out of this and it's already getting distorted and all messed up. We were doing that. But this is a cutting axe. You see how thin it is. This should have a razor edge because a cutting axe is designed to cut. So when you watch cartoons or people are splitting wood like this, this is what a cutting axe is supposed to do. It's supposed to be sharp, thin, and it's supposed to sink into the wood and really grab it and cut it. Anyway, let's get to splitting. So we've got our splitting stump. It's slightly at an angle. We are rotating this wood. See, it wants to fall this way because the bottom of this round is kind of angled. So we turn it, and now the angle of the cutting stump and the angle of this round offset each other so it's level. Now we're going to split this. I'm going to give it one good hit, and I'm really going to give it a lot of power. Don't be gentle. Hit it as hard as you can. There you go. That's how you split wood. Now, I don't see the knots coming through this piece. I'll show you on the next piece. We'll give it another split. Done. See how the axe kind of dug in there? That's all right. You can see this knot. See how this knot kind of goes through there like a nail or a screw? Some of these knots are huge. Look at that. Some of these knots are huge, and they will hold that wood together like a massive screw. So the wood, you don't want to split it this way. Your axe would go down, it would get stuck, and you would have to chop through this knot. So you want to split it this way, and that's what we did. And it goes around the knot like that. That's how you split knots in wood. Do not split perpendicular to a knot. That was a joke. So we have the knot here. It's facing me. I'm not cutting perpendicular, I'm cutting parallel. See how the axe stuck? It does not want to split, but if I keep hitting it, it should split around that knot. You see that? There we go. We split around the knot. Now, you're probably wondering, well, gosh, how do I split a big giant piece of wood? Something that's really big. Now, this is a big, it's an average size round. This is about 20 inches around. When you're splitting something that is small diameter, this one is about 8 inches diameter. So if you're splitting something that's about 8 inches, about the size of your hand, about as big around as your hand, like that, spread out your fingers like that. If you're splitting something about that size, you can hit it right in the middle and you'll be okay. But when you're splitting something that's much larger diameter, you can't split it in the middle because it's going to take a lot of force with your hands, with the power of your body, to make that separate. So you want to start splitting off to the side, about one hand's width, about as wide as your hand. That's all how far off to the side you're going to start splitting. When you split wood, you want your pieces to be about as round as the size of your fist. So you make a fist, and that's about how round you want the piece to be, or two fists. That's about how round you want the piece to be. You can make them bigger, no big deal, but when they're about the size of your fist or two fists, they dry out quickly, and you can use them in a matter of months instead of waiting a year for them to season and dry out. When you burn wood, it's not supposed to be bone dry. Wood needs about 20% moisture. And when you split them in those pieces, the moisture goes out, but then enough moisture is retained from the atmosphere to make it burn well. Okay, here we go. We're going to start splitting this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split off to the side. One more important safety note before I do that. If I'm splitting on this side, sometimes pieces want to fly off this way. So the camera holder here, Lala, it may fly off and hit her. So what I'm going to do, I'll split on this side so it flies that direction. All right, so we got that piece split. Then we come back and we split it this way. I'm not trying to hit it too hard because I don't want it to go flying and hit Lala. Okay, that's done. That's done. Okay. Little pieces like this, throw them in the kindling pile. All right, now I'm going to show you how to use this, the splitter. We're going to come in here, we're going to start it. All right, another point about this splitting maul, you don't need it to be razor sharp. This is just a wedge designed to go in the wood and wedge the wood apart. This does not need to be razor sharp. You can hit it in the rocks here, I really don't care. It doesn't have to be razor sharp. It just has to be able to get into the wood and start spreading it apart. All right, so we've started this by hand. I like to give it a few small taps to really sink it in there. Then I'm going to get back and I'm going to let the sledgehammer do the work. You don't use a sledgehammer like this. That's not what you do. You use it just like you swing the axe. Come back here over your shoulder, bring it down, bring your hands down, and let it fall. Let it fall level. You don't want it to hit it like this. You don't want to hit it like that. You want to come out level. So sometimes you have to bend your knees to compensate. Okay? You're just lifting it up over your shoulder and you're just letting it fall down. Okay? You're giving it a little bit of power when it's coming down, but if you're always giving it power like you know, you're going to wear yourself out. This is an 8-pound sledge. Let the weight of the sledgehammer do the work. It's like a pile driver. They'll lift up something that's really heavy. They'll lift up like a big piece of metal, and then they'll just drop it. And it's like boom, pile driver. Boom, pile driver, like that. So that's all you're doing with a sledgehammer. You're letting the sledgehammer be a pile driver. So you're lifting it up over your shoulder, down, boom. Okay? Not that hard. I'm just lifting it up, letting it fall down. That's all I'm doing. Okay? Now that piece is split. That's how you split wood. That's how you stay safe. Do not wear Crocs, slippers. Wear some protective boots, some steel-toe boots or something substantial. Be safe. Wear some gloves. Wear some safety glasses. Do all that stuff. I've been splitting wood since I was 5 years old, and I'm getting sloppy on safety here, so don't do what I'm doing. Wear real boots, wear gloves, wear eye protection, and have your phone ready in case you need to call someone to help you with some medical assistance. That's how you split wood. Not that complicated, but there's a few things you need to understand about physics and leverage and these sorts of things. We'll make another video. I encourage everyone to split some wood, get out there, try it, and learn some new skills.